Hey guys, it's Maggie, and I'm back with another video. This one I did try to film the other day, as you would have seen, but I just couldn't do it with my roommates there. So here I am telling childhood stories that I shouldn't be able to remember because a lot of them are really vivid, and most people don't remember things like that from that long ago that well. Like, it's just, I don't know, I'm different and I'm weird. So the first one I thought about telling you guys was, what was I gonna tell you guys? wait, it's okay, it's okay. Oh, I know, okay, so it was my first week of grade 3. It was shortly after I punched this kid in the head. If you don't know what I'm talking about, to get in that video, it'll be linked down below. Well, it was the last day of the week on a Friday, and I didn't remember really, but it was like a half day every Friday, and that's really fun and really great. But my dad didn't remember, and so when the school day ended, I go outside with my backpack and I'm waiting for my dad to come pick me up so I can go home and do whatever the frick I used to do when I was younger. But I was waiting. 10 minutes passed by. 20 minutes passed by. All the buses are gone at this point. Half an hour goes by. I'm a little bit concerned. An hour goes by. No father in sight. So of course I started panicking like I do because I'm irrational and don't think things over. And I was panicking. I remember I was taking my backpack and I went and I left it by the office. And I just started walking around the school. I was like, okay, my dad has abandoned me. I legitimately convinced myself that both my parents had left me, moved back to British Columbia. This story takes place in Alberta without me because they hated me. That was what I thought, which wasn't the case at all. They just forgot it was a half day. So I go, and we had those little weird portable little classroom school areas that were outside that were like temporary but ended up being there for like ever. So it was like a trailer thing, I guess. So I went back there. It was closed because I went back there because they did have an after school thing for kids until their parents come and pick them up. But all the kids have been picked up at this point, so it was closed. So I went over there, doors locked. I was crying. I was like, my parents have left me and I have nowhere to go. And then I could see this hole, okay, at the edge of the trailer. So I, like a little over dramatic little twerp, I crawl under this trailer and I'm there, and I'm just bawling my eyes out, and I just keep going over my head, like, why doesn't anybody love me? What do I do? And I'm just freaking out. And then finally I hear footsteps crunching in the gravel next to this trailer, and I hear my name, and it was my dad's voice, and I didn't even want to come out because I was so angry. Because I was still convinced that they left me there. And I thought maybe he had felt guilty from going all the way back to BC without me. So I didn't say a word. Until finally I felt guilty for not saying a word. So I climbed up and I was like, you left me! And I was so upset and so mad. And Dad was like, what are you doing under there? Because apparently he still didn't know it was a half day. Because he worked at the school too, so he came there regularly. But he came at 3 p.m., school got off at 12 p.m., and I had been under that trailer for quite some time. And he realized it was a half day, and he was like, no, Meg, I'd never leave you. And I was like, but you left me here! And I was just really over dramatic. And another time, same year, same house that I was in at the time. And it was also kind of like kind of like the house I'm in right now. And oh my gosh, I went over to my neighbor's house. I did that every day, but I didn't know he was. But his dog was outside, and I'm a huge animal person. So like I normally do, still nowadays, I start playing with the dog. It was such a good dog, I can't remember her name. She was so cute, so sweet, and she was the first dog I'd ever met that knew how to play fetch. So I was playing fetch with her. And I'm just throwing it, she's bringing it back to me, and then finally, one of the times I throw it and it accidentally goes too far into the pond. And I remember thinking, oh, no, what do I do now? Because I can't go and get that ball that's in there. And then right away she whooshes into the water, and I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. So when she comes back, gives me the ball, I was laughing my head off because I thought it was the funniest thing. And well, then I'll throw the ball again into the water on purpose this time, and I just kept doing it over and over again. I didn't see the harm in it at the time because I was 10 years old, and it was fun. I, for some reason, just liked her jumping in the water. I thought it was hilarious. So I just kept doing it, and then finally, all of a sudden, you threw my effing dog in the water. You got her wet. Now I gotta give her a bath. She's full of mud. She's soaking wet. She's disgusting. And he's saying, you should know better. You're 10 years old. Go to your house right now and tell your parents what you've done. And I remember quivering. I was shaking so hard. I was so scared because I thought this dude was gonna murder me. We're in the middle of nowhere. I lived in the country, by the way, so we weren't like super close neighbors, and it was like, he was loud, and it was like no one could see us, and I don't even think, yeah, my parents were home, so it was fine. But I started crying. I'm freaking out. I'm going back home. What am I gonna tell my parents? I got in trouble with the neighbors, and I felt so bad. But honestly, looking back on it, it's not that big of a deal. I was 10 years old, and all I did was want to have fun with the dog, and I ended up getting her wet. I mean, the fact that I continued throwing it, yeah, that wasn't the greatest thing, but she was already soaking wet, so I mean, what's the difference really if I'm throwing it one time or 1,000? So, like, I go back home, and I'm like, Mommy, let's call him Roderick. Mommy, Roderick, he was yelling at me because I was playing with this dog and accidentally got it wet, and I was bawling my eyes out, and I was so scared. And I remember for weeks on end, I was still terrified of this dude. And whenever I went outside, I wouldn't go without my mom or dad because I was just scared. Because, like, as a full-grown adult, you shouldn't be yelling at a child like that for something as small as that. Like, honestly, like, as a kid, you did stupid things too. Like, I was 10 years old, so it was pretty freaky. This one dates back a little bit further, just a little bit. This was back when I was between 2 or 4, which is, again, a weird memory to be able to remember so vividly. But my auntie was babysitting me one day, God rest her soul. She was babysitting me, and I had hair about down to here, and I had bangs. But I hated my bangs so much. I remember I hated them so much. I remember so many conversations I had with my mom, and I was like, Mom, can't we just cut them off? And nowadays I know that's not how that works, but I thought it was, and I thought they just wouldn't grow back. So I was like, Mom, can't we just cut them off? And she's like, no, you have to let them grow out. And then I'm an impatient person. So, while my aunt is visiting, while she is babysitting me, I find the kitchen scissors and I go upstairs into my parents' bedroom. And I go and I grab about all this hair, which at the time was like down to here on me at the time. Nowadays it's probably the same length, honestly. But like I went like this, grabbed my pair of scissors, I went like this, and then I went up here like this, and I cut them off. No, that was pretty bad, because when I say they were like down here, it's because it wasn't just my bangs that I was grabbing. Because I was so angry at them. I hated how they looked. I hated how they felt on my face. So when I grab my bangs, pretend my bangs are here and they're already like here. I go like this and I go like this, and I just cut them all off. And I remember after I did it, I was like, oh crap, now what do I do? Because I knew my aunt wouldn't freak out because she loved me to bits, but I knew my mom might just give me a spanking. So I remember right away, hello? Right away I go and I hide under my parents' bed with my scissors. I'm just hiding there. Freaking loads of hair on the ground, and I'm just under the bed, and I'm sobbing because I'm like, Mom's gonna get so mad at me. And I just was like freaking out, and I didn't know what to do. And I was just like freaking out. And I could hear my aunt calling me because she realized I was gone. But I was like, no, I can't risk it. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. But at this time, I'm thinking, I bet you she was freaking out because she wouldn't have known where I was. And she's like, oh crap. Her parents, like, made me in charge of her. Where'd she go? Like, and I was under there. I was under there until my mom got home because I remember my aunt calling me, and I remember finally my mom barged into the room. She's looking around, and straight away, she goes under the bed to look. There I am, and she yanks me out, and of course I got a spanking, and she sees my hair, and I remember her being like, I have one more story for you. A few years later, maybe even the same couple of years around there, I was still living in Alberta because not for the second time like I was in the Christian school. This point I was around 5-ish, maybe below that, maybe, I don't know. But I have always been really good at making friends with boys, not girls, because girls tend to hate me for some reason or other. So I'm over at my neighbor's house. He was a boy, and then his little brother, I think he was younger than me actually, but they were just outside with me, and we were just playing, being kids, hanging out, being cool, whoop-de-doo, and then the brothers start arguing, which brothers do. That's very normal. I didn't really think of it as anything. But then the bigger brother, my friend, let's call him Liam, pushed his little brother. Just like shoved him because he was mad. And again, that happens again. That's brotherly stuff. But then the brother goes like this. I kid you not, he goes like this, slips on a frickin' skateboard, cracks his head on the frickin' pavement, wide open, blood everywhere. I am probably over exaggerating, but I could swear I saw that kid's brain, but I don't remember. But probably just like his skull or something. I don't know, I saw something, it was gross. And I remember his mother rushing out. No, actually, I went and got his mother. I did too. I went up to the door, and I knocked on that door, and I was like, Mrs. Whatever, your son's a little bit hurt. So we walked down to their driveway. Nice little homey neighborhood. Kids screaming on the ground, blood gushing out. And then she picks him up, brings him inside, bandages him up. As a kid, I remember thinking, I hope he gets stitches because that looks pretty freaking bad. And I know it was because his head was wide freaking open. She just herself, wrapped it or something. I can't remember if she just stopped the bleeding or if she wrapped it or whatever. No stitches, no staples, no nothing. I know! But I remember, I thought that was so insane. Honestly though, I shouldn't remember these things. Do you remember stuff like this? What?
No.
Oh.
You shouldn't be.
I don't know why I do though, it's so weird.
I don't remember anything.
I was about to say relatable, but obviously not. Well, that's all I have for this video, but I have lots more memories from back then. So if you want more stories like this, like and comment down below. And subscribe, of course, because I'm amazing. All my social media will be down below, and I will see y'all in the next video.